and welcome back to a brand new video. Before we get started, on my lips I have MAC. I've been wearing this really often and it's Persistence, and then on top of this I have a gloss. The name of it is called Pink, but if I'm being honest, I bought this from like a little side vendor in New Orleans who was just selling them out of a big bucket, so I don't really know how official of a MAC lip gloss this one might be. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. You guys know I'm loving story times lately. They're so easy to film and record and edit, and I just like to sit down and just chat to you guys. I have been flying lead more, and I'm finding that I'm preferring that just because it's such an easier process on me, because now I've gotten my flow of that. So basically, whenever we get our schedules released, we have all the trips that are on our line that we can hold. So for example, in July, I'll just tell you guys a trip that I held. I got my schedule the other day, so happy with it. Kind of crazy that I got some things off that I needed, but hey, I'll take it. So this trip is 3-2-3, so 3 legs the first day, 2 legs the second day, 3 legs the last day. Now you start every trip in base and you end every trip in base. So I got a long Toronto, which I've been wanting for a very long time, and I actually had one before, but I had to swap off of it because I needed an early release. But I got 2 long Torontos this month. Releases at the time that I needed to, it reports at the time that I needed to. And on this trip I don't fly lead. But what you can do is you can go into your trip, into your rotations, and you can say, okay, I have a trip that starts on July 15th. I look at open time and I see other trips that start on July 15th. And what I'll do, this is just what I do particularly, but a lot of flight attendants have different methods. They'll swap for the same day, or they'll try to swap for trips on different days. So what I have been doing is going into open time, kind of looking and seeing what's out there, and looking for A position flights on 3-person crews, where we're either on our 717s or 88s or 31Js or 31 ABCDEFGs. We have so many configurations of that plane, or 320s. So usually a 3-person crew type of trip, and I'll swap to lead if it does not have meals. I have gotten meals a few times on A days, and it is worth good credit time. However, it depends on where we're going. Like, the meals can be a bit much, but I'm finding that it's kind of easy to get into your flow up there. You come to briefing, you kind of set the tone for the trip, and I'm super like, we all know what we're doing, you know, everyone knows how to do their job. As long as we get through the entire trip safely and all the passengers are happy and taken care of, and we're pulling each other's weight like we're supposed to, I really try to be like laid back about it, because it's kind of annoying when you come to briefing and you'll have that one person that's like, okay, this is how I do things, it's my way or the highway, don't do this, don't do that. And you're like, okay. Like, even when I have those situations where I come to briefing and I'm like, all right, that person is like very by the book, or very like something that's a pet peeve for them, that they don't want you to come into their galley at a certain time or whatever. It's just like, everyone is different, and even though if you're flying lead, I don't know, it's just, for me, how I pour a Diet Coke in the back is how I pour a Diet Coke in the front. First class, main cabin, Comfort Plus, last row by the bathroom, you're getting the same amount of customer service from me. I'm gonna go above and beyond, because hey, you're paying my bills and you are my customer, you are my passenger, you might have a stressful day, this might be your first time on the plane. Like, you really never know someone's situation. So before trips, I really have to think about, woosah, you know, this might be a crazy duty day, or maybe the flight before was insane, but you have to reset and you have to go ahead and just pull it together for the next flight. And I think for some people that it is kind of difficult. You do have to have a great deal of patience with this job. So with flying lead, I am preferring it only because I feel like I kind of set the tone, and I can come across a person and see if that person is like a little bit high strung, or maybe they're having a bad day, or they've come to me and told me something about their personal life and they're a little stressed out. And I'm always like, hey, if you need me to knock the service out, if you want me, like, let me know what you want me to do. And I feel like when you're flying up front, it's really nice to be that way, because you have less passengers to deal with. Sorry, I'm putting my lip gloss on my lipstick right there. You have less passengers to deal with than the people in the back. So once you finish your first class service and you've gotten all your drinks out, maybe you've gotten all your meals out, you've taken out the basket for them, you've checked on them, then I always try to go to the back and help out with maybe trash or refills, or I'm like, if you want to ding me for teas or whatever, just to be accommodating, because you might have to deal with 16 people, they might have to deal with 120. So it's a give and take type of thing. Ultimately, every flight attendant is different. Every person you have to deal with on an individual basis. And what I find is that like tempers flare in the summertime, where you have people that don't get along, or you'll have instances where everybody's great and it's like one big happy family, which those are the best trips ever. But really and truly, my mentality of it is it's 3 days, maybe it's 6 days. For those of you who fly those crazy like 12-day trips, oh my gosh, how do you do it? I could not be on a trip for 12 days or I would just go crazy. But seriously though, I'm like, for 3 days we can get along, for 3 days we can be an adult, for 3 days anything, you know, you do or anything that is going on, pull it together for those 3 days. And really, you have to think too, we all have our personal lives and we all have things going on behind the scenes. I've flown after attending funerals, after being in arguments with family members, after, you know, going through crazy behind the scenes things that I don't share on YouTube. And I think some people are like, oh, you're always in a good mood and you're always this and that. And I'm really not, but I'm not gonna pull out the camera when I'm like super angry and fighting and be like, you guys, da, 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 da. But you know, that's just not an ideal time for me to film. But understand, I'm a person too, so I do have bad days. But when you're at work, you have to pull it together. And I think this is a job where you're not micromanaged. Whenever I'm 25,000 feet in the air, Josh, my manager, hey Josh, if you probably won't ever see this, he's not like, Ashley, you know, you need to go back and you need to do that refill. Like, you really are your own boss. And every single flight attendant, it's kind of on you to react and deal with situations. So that's one thing I do prefer. It's nice to not have to worry about it or take work home with you. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of chat with you guys and tell you guys I have been flying lead more. You guys know why, I've said it in a million videos. But it's not like, I still fly in the main cabin. It's not like something I exclusively do, and I'm not one of those people who's like, I can only do this. It's no other way. It's my way or the highway. No, super chill, super whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to film because window lighting, excellent. And all of my social media will be in the description box. Thank you guys for the comments on the toiletry bag and the Teamy video. It has ended now, but I will be going through those submissions and picking the winners, and I'll actually announce it in a video as well. So thank you once again. Make sure that you are subscribed, that you hit the bell notification so that you can know whenever I post, as well as what was I gonna say? Oh, follow me on Instagram. All right, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.